All right, guys, I'm actually going to show you a trick. It's called the left hand trick to know quadrant one. So I have a couple of things already drawn out here. I traced my hand, my left hand, and this is my pinky. This is my ring finger. This is my middle finger. This is my index finger. This is my thumb. So pinky, ring finger, middle finger, my index finger, and my thumb. Okay. Each of these fingers are going to represent an angle. So you see my pinky here is going to be 0 degrees or 0 radians. My ring finger, as I'm looking at my left hand, is going to be 30 degrees or pi over 6. 45 degrees is going to be my middle finger or pi over 4. My index finger is going to be 60 degrees or pi over 3. And then my thumb is pi over 2 or 90 degrees. Now in the palm of my hand right here, I'm going to picture a fraction. My numerator is going to be the square root of the number of my fingers. And that's going to be the number of fingers above or below the fold. And it'll make sense in a second. And everything is over 2. So let's take a look on how to actually get the coordinates, the x and y coordinates, by just simply using my left hand of quadrant 1 of the unit circle. So I'm going to start at 0 degrees. Well, right here, right off the bat before I start, I'm going to tell you that the x values of these coordinates is the fingers above the fold. So I'm going to go my x value. This is going to be my x value. That's just bad notation. This x is going to be the number of fingers. That is going to be the square root of the number of fingers below, and this is the square root of the number of fingers below. All right, so let's try this again. X is the square root of the number of fingers above the fold, and y is the number of fingers below the fold. So this is going to make sense. So I'm going to go to 0 degrees. I'm going to fold down my pinky. Above this fold, I have 4 fingers. The square root of 4 is 2. So now I have 2 divided by 2, which is now just 1. That is my x value. There are no fingers below the fold. Well, square root of 0 is 0. 0 divided by 2 is 0. There is my first point. All right, so let's do 30 degrees. We'll have 1, 2, 3 fingers above. That's my x-axis. Well, that's my x value. So I'm going to do the square root of the number of fingers above. So that's square root of 3. Of course, my marker wants to die. And then below is 1. It's always over 2. And below it's 1 over 2. I have 1 finger. Square root of 1 is 1. So there is that coordinate. Now 45 degrees, I fold down my middle finger. I have 2 fingers above. So my numerator is the square root of 2, always over 2. And I have 2 fingers below, the square root of 2 over 2. Now at 60 degrees, I fold 60 degrees down. You notice I have exactly 1 finger above the fold. This gives me the square root of 1 is 1 over 2. And there are 3 fingers below. This is the square root of 3 over 2. So I'm pretty much done already with quadrant 1. I can do the last axis, but you should remember this because of the radius. But if I fold this down, there is nothing above my thumb. So the square root of 0 is 0, divided by 2 is 0. And then we have 4 below. The square root of 4 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is quadrant 1 of your unit circle. Then you use symmetry to find quadrants 2, 3, and 4. Left hand trick. 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. You really shouldn't have to use your 0 and 90 because those are just your axes. Radius is 1. You should know those. That's why it's 1, 0, and 0, 1. Because this is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. But these definitely help. Couldn't tell you how many times I referenced my hand just by folding a finger and I know the answer immediately. Hi, I'm Mr. Buzzard, and these videos are supplemental instruction for my students. If you found the video enjoyable, make sure you click the like button and click subscribe, as well as the bell for notifications to receive future videos on high school mathematics.